Really looking forward to bringing you guys along the journey here. Once that sun gets low, gonna be some insane shots, camera shots. Can't promise my shots will be insane. Oh, that's gonna be absolutely insane. Go in. Oh my gosh. Guys, I might have piped it. Just gonna sink it in. Oh, that might be perfect. Might have an eagle look here, guys.
Miles per hour.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to the new video here, new series. I haven't been this excited to start a new series in quite some time, so really looking forward to bringing you guys along the journey here. And I'm gonna probably putting the blinkers on there. I should probably not make too much eye contact with the camera because I am driving. Wanted to kind of do like just candid car conversation style to intro this, since it's the first episode of the series. So just driving out to the course right now. I guess just to kind of go in chronological order here. So about 3 weeks ago, my friend Keith and Vicky, they came down from Canada to do a Florida trip. We played a bunch of disc golf together, and that was the most disc golf I've pretty much ever played. I probably average less than 10 rounds a year. As crazy as that sounds, since I started playing like seriously about a year and a half ago. So it's been mainly field work, as you guys know by now. Just more of a field work distance throwing specialist. Always in the back of my mind, kind of knew that all the work I was putting in for my technique would be a good long-term investment to get a really good backhand, which could kind of be the foundation of my game if I did want to become a competitive player. So anyways, I'm going on a tangent here. And then Clint came down, Blitz DG, you guys know him as on YouTube, to join us for the last week of that trip. And we played some more disc golf together. And just to kind of summarize, it was a bit rough getting onto the course at first. I struggled with my launch angle, as you can imagine, doing a lot of distance throwing in the field. But I started to get a lot better each round, and I started to really enjoy the sport of disc golf a lot more than I expected I would. I think very slowly over the last year of coaching full-time and getting more embedded in the community and meeting all the great people in the sport has made me fall in love with the sport a lot more than I would have expected. Sprinting and track and field has kind of been the most fun thing for me, and that's really what I've primarily been training for the last few years. But it's almost like kind of the signs. I don't know if God is putting certain things in my life, but it feels like it's pulling me a lot more into the sport of disc golf, and it's been a huge blessing for just a lot of aspects of my life, and developed a lot of good relationships because of it. So just a lot of factors coming together where I've really been enjoying the sport a lot more. So I started seriously considering maybe I should try to just like actually get good at the sport of disc golf, and instead of just focusing on distance throwing, and be okay with pulling out some of my sprint training and maybe not even racing this track season, and just kind of seeing like what I can do with dedicated practice and course rounds, and actually trying to like, you know, cinch up a well-rounded game on the course. So I don't know what I'm going to call this series, but it's going to kind of be the first episode of that. And I'm going out to Champions Point Disc Golf Course in Claremont, Florida, which is about a 45 to 50 minute drive from me, but it's my favorite course within an hour by far, because the long to long layout is long, as you can imagine. I don't know the exact length of the course. Maybe I'll put it on the screen here. But pretty technical fairways and a lot of shot placement demand, but enough shot shape variety to be a great course to improve on and also test my scoring ability. But in terms of my score, it's going to be first shot everything for what you guys see on the camera, unless otherwise stated. But I want to make sure this is the most stringent and consistent, basically just minimizing variables, most consistent way to track my progress. So basically, what is my score progression on the long to long layout at Champions Point? I really don't like talking about where I want to get with something or how good I'd like to be at something until I've gotten there, because I'm very results oriented and I don't like to talk up and hype up things. I'd rather, much rather allow my results to do the speaking and not talk about, oh, you know, I want to have this rating or I want to do this in a tournament. But just completely candidly, I do want to get to 1,000 rating capability before I compete in a tournament. And I think it's fairly reasonable for me, as long as I'm willing to, you know, cinch up the parts of my game that aren't quite there And it's just going to be a matter of getting in a lot of quality reps at the course. I definitely have plenty of power right now, especially if I do tournaments on longer courses where the power is more of an advantage for score separation. That will help me a lot, but being brutally honest with myself, I'm definitely going to have to get a lot better at putting. Forehand's going to have to improve a lot, and then of course I'm going to have to get more consistent with my launch angles and secondary metrics on my backhand, which is already improving a lot. So that's what I'd like to do, and then once I start competing, just seeing how much I enjoy that in terms of disc golf tournaments, because I've never done a full tournament before. I do really enjoy competing itself. I love the challenge of having to become the best version of myself under a situation where pressure is maximized and stress is maximized, and you can kind of test what all your training is capable of doing and coming together in that competition environment. That's what I love about competition. Feels like a great way to grow character and just to increase mental toughness. And also it's just fun just to put yourself in a situation where you can either embarrass yourself or put on a show. And choosing to do the latter, much more satisfying and much better for long-term character growth. So I really enjoy that aspect of competition. So I'm really looking forward to that, but again, we'll see how it goes. Still early stages for me. So anyways, I've been blabbering for a while. I'm gonna get out there. I already did my tissue preparation and nervous system preparation work at home, and then once I get to the course, I kind of re-warm up a little bit, do some dynamic warm-up stuff, and then I like to do some putting, more confidence-based putting within very makeable distances, and then I'll do some longer ones just to kind of get those like C2 plus distances dialed in a little bit. And the nice thing is the putting gets your fingers coordinated. How are my fingers popping the frisbee off of my hand? Skills honed in and calibrated. And then I'll go do a progressive field warm-up where I'm just practicing low straight shots, which is most of what this course is going to require, is low ceiling, tight fairway with a lot of power. Once I go through that and I work up to about maybe 50-60% power, then I'll go back and just do some finishing putts just to kind of come into the round with some results-based confidence. Before I get to that first, basket after my first tee shot. All right, so I finished warming up, and now we're gonna get into the round. So during warm-ups, wasn't putting or throwing that well, but I made some small adjustments, so we'll see if I can just focus up on the shots. Trying to make sure I don't have too high of expectations because I do want to enjoy this. So hole one here is a nice, easy little first hole. It's just gonna be that yellow basket down there. Throw this supposedly stable-ish berg just straight out there, and might be a little left. All right, so we got like a 35-footer into the headwind. Not a good tee shot, but still a chance to birdie this.
Bruh.
Just a little left. That's all right though. Okay, so just a par on the first one. Okay, this hole is absolutely sick. One of my favorites. Just an absolute yeet up the middle with a Luster Emp. Sweet. All right, so we are left with about 250. About 250 left. Probably Envy is going to be best bet here. See if we can pipe that gap. It's a pretty tough birdie. It's going to be short, but I got to look. Just didn't put enough juice on it, but that's all right. Okay, probably about 30 feet, maybe 32. I don't know. It's somewhere around circle one edge. Maybe 35, hard to tell, but let's straddle around this tree. See if we can drain this for the bird. Okay, this par 5 right here is a beast of a hole. So the goal is just to not get a huge score on it. And that's about it. So If I had a bigger sidearm, I would definitely use the sidearm to go straight and then right. But I'm just gonna throw a turning shot with a Crave, and hopefully that puts me in good position. This is really more of a placement shot. So I kind of want to throw this with slight hyzer and have it turn and finish very right. It's basically perfect. Yep. Should be in good position there. About 430 to the basket, so get to crank on one again. That'll be fun. This awesome swirly S-Blend Dynasty thing is just money. Hyzer flip it pretty much straight to the left of that red basket. Low, very low ceiling. Try to get it to finish, hopefully past that conglomerate of tree trunks. And also hopefully not slip out on the super leafy ground and tear my groin, because we got to get this groin to survive for the rest of the round. It's a little high, it's gonna catch that branch. Okay, well, we're taking that. I do want to throw a practice shot. There we go. So that's what I would have liked to have done on the first shot. That would have given me a putt. That's why we're practicing. Still got a ways to go to get up and down for birdie. I get a skip. Yeah, I just kind of put it on too much ante. Never had a chance to come back and get a flare skip, unfortunately. Okay. All right, so count my strokes here. Yeah, just a par. If I continue playing extremely mediocre today, it'll be easier to PR. So this hole fits my stock putter shot game really well. We do have a little bit of a headwind though, so that's gonna make that 350 play more like 370 with the putter. Normally I would just throw at him here, but it's pretty low ceiling, so I'm actually gonna try this hyzer line out to the right with the Roman. Just curious how viable it is. Huh. There must have been some adjustment to the trees, because last time I played her, I don't remember that being such a good look. Cool, we finally got a birdie. So now we can go under par for the round on hole 4 here. This is another absolutely sick hole. But I aligned the camera with the actual true horizontal, earth horizontal, so you can see how uphill this initial section is. So it's tricky because you're throwing a little bit positive launch compared to what it looks like, but you also don't want to end up on the left side of the fairway. So kind of have to flip a disc on a higher launch angle to get it over this crest, but not hit that ceiling, which drops out pretty quick over the crest. So it's a very vertical launch control oriented hole.
I've only played here once.
Yeah? Okay, I'm just gonna send this Wraith real quick, so just heads up, sorry. I don't wanna decapitate you. See, it's just picking up like crazy. There's like no way to, oh, that got kind of lucky, I guess. I'm happy with where this one ended up. Really tricky wind. I was talking with that guy that I let play through. We're surprised at how swirly and unpredictable the wind is through here right now. It's a lot of undulating terrain. A lot of trees, probably causing some wacky dynamics. Yep, easy little tap in. That's what we want. Get a birdie here to put us to 2 down. Building a little bit of momentum here. Nice little open look to this. I mean, it is kind of a swamp, I'm not gonna lie, but it is kind of cool. Okay, so this is for sure one of the coolest holes in the course. Center of your guys' screen, the yellow basket's down there, 650. And it's fairly downhill initially as well. So this is where I'm really glad I have this Stardust Emperor now, which is another one of Clint's recommendations. I usually just ask him what I should throw, and then he just tells me the plastic and disc, and I just order it and it works out. I'm just gonna pound it down that right gap and just let it finish left. It's really a placement shot off the tee. Oh, I hope I get lucky, because that is left. I did not get lucky, and that is my fault. A little bit of a stumble on the throw there. All right, see if we can get up and down for a par save here. Straight to the basket. A little soft, a little short, but should be able to clean that up. Left myself with way more than you would want here, but we're just gonna slam this in. Absolutely tragic bogey. So I don't know if you guys can see the yellow basket, but it's like 560 back that way. Little high. Don't hit those people. Oh my gosh. Okay. Super straightforward Berg upshot here. Bit of a head right to left, so I gotta make sure I keep this down. A little too down apparently. All right, let's see if we can cast this bomb of a putt uphill, head right to left wind. Save our birdie here. Just send her in there. Just tap in for the par. Absolutely love this hole. 585 feet, pretty uphill, pretty minimal ceiling, so also pretty stiff headwind through here as well. See if I can turn this Luster Emp over through that left gap and get it to ride right. Oh, that's going to be absolutely insane. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this Luster Emp just went 490, several feet uphill into a stiff headwind with a low ceiling off the tee pad. So I'm very happy with that. Go kind of low. Okay, it was a little bit soft, just to show you guys the wind. So it's like right to left there, and then here there's like nothing. Really weird wind. It's a good birdie though. So it's 7:36, and you actually don't want to go too far deep and right. I think I'm actually gonna just pump the Stardust Emperor like flat and straight with very little hyzer, kind of out to the right a little bit, so that it gives me a lot more spacing away from those trees on the right and then the left, which you guys can't see. Yeah, I mean, if we get a good skip, we'll be safe in terms of the upshot. Okay, perfect. That's in really good position, so I'm happy with that. So I unfortunately did actually go a little bit far and a little bit right, mainly a little bit right. So I'll keep that in mind next time I play this hole. You can see this tree trunk is basically directly in the way of the basket. So I got to think about what's going to be the highest percentage shot here to try to get in position for the birdie. It's about 370. It's a little downhill, probably plays 350. Maybe I can turn the Exodus. It's going to be a very touchy shot. Get it to kind of drift right, but then come out a little bit so it can straighten out at the end of the flight. Might have overturned it. Well, I think we'll have a look. Well, we at least have a look. It's an 80-foot look. but it's a look nonetheless. Yeah, it was just too low out of the hand, but not a terrible line. So we'll clean up for par there. All right, so back 9, hole 10 here. Basically 310, just straight, and then finishes left, a little bit uphill, so it plays more like 330-ish probably, maybe 320. Actually want to try a powered down Athena here. Just throw it low and flat. Could be the ticket. Go in. Oh my gosh. Athena kind of slid a little bit left on me, but shouldn't be a problem here. Head right to left wind, aim a little bit low and right. We'll take that, start off with the birdie. Shut the camera off, don't waste battery. This lighting is about to start hitting diffy once that sun gets low. Gonna be some insane shots, camera shots. Can't promise my shots will be insane. So this is hole 11, it's 342, just straight up the gut. Oh, it's leaking left. Okay, so we're left with like a, I don't know, 25 footer here for birdie. Wind's not too bad right now, so let's slam this in there. Okay, I need to step this off because that's gonna be a foot fault, I'm pretty sure. Okay, actually, we are good. That is 40 feet apparently. Let me step it off. Make sure that laser's not lying. Okay, cool. Minimum 36 feet, so we're good. All right, so we're heating up. We're at 4 under now. Hole 12, this is probably the most dangerous hole in the course from my recollection. So I could easily erase that 4 down in a heartbeat if I jank this one. Yeah, it's 700 feet, super tight. I'm gonna try to rip this Dynasty. Wow. Yeah, I got pretty lucky. I kicked so far left. My shot was so bad that I actually have an open look, and I've been debating between the sidearm and backhand. Sidearm, I'm just going to throw overstable disc and let it kind of fade in there, hopefully. Get some skips. Nice. That should work. Kind of like air bounce this Atom. I think it'll fly far enough with that. We got a lot left for par save here, probably about 50. Just got to send her, see what happens. Okay, hole 13 is really technical. You have to have a really slow turning shot that goes 300. So I just got to visualize. Put it out to the left side of that gap a little bit. Let it flip up and turn and ride that turn. I think that might be perfect. Might be a little short, but we'll have a look at least. Okay, so a little bit too touchy. Peered the line, just a little short. I think we got like 47-ish on the rangefinder here. So this would be a nice birdie if I could get this. Just gonna sink it in. So this is an even more absurdly narrow version of the last hole, but it's a lot shorter. It's only 214. Anyone that plays RuneScape will know when I say it feels like RNG to hit this gap. I mean, it's definitely skill, but not the level of skill that I possess. So we definitely need some luck. All right, that's gonna be a 3 for sure. But you know what, could be worse. Okay, so my camera battery died, unfortunately. I'm definitely gonna be buying a second one because quite frankly, it was kind of a distraction to have to rush all my shots and just always think about the battery life and extending it while also trying to play around on a really difficult course. So I'm gonna get a second battery for that so that I can be a little bit more chill with the rounds in terms of just thinking about camera logistics. But nonetheless, I took a 3 on that last one, that 210 foot, that was hole 14. So now we're hole 15. Gotta make sure I remember to talk to you guys because the mic's not running. I'm gonna throw an NV through that gap and hopefully it works out. I'm liking how that looks. A little bit of a tree hit at the end there, but I think we'll still have a putt. So, okay, so not a bad look here. So what I've been doing on putts that's been working well for me, granted I still have a bit of a lack of skill because I need to get more reps, is activating the parasympathetic nervous system, slow diaphragmatic breathing with long exhales, and then just getting in a mindset of aggressive confidence where I'm basically delusionally convinced I'm gonna make it. Even though that sounds ridiculous, I kind of feel like in control of the situation rather than scared of a bad thing happening. I'm looking forward to a good thing happening. 9, 10, yeah, probably inside circle 1. Cool. We're at 5 down. I really wasn't even expecting to shoot that well today. Hopefully I'm in frame. I have this thing on the 2x zoom right now because this is like the Giga Bomber hole. It's about like, this says 850, but UDisc says 900. I don't really know. All I know is you gotta pump it out there, low ceiling pretty far, and then another long shot for a potential eagle look, but most likely birdie. So we're going bomber amp here, luster amp. Guys, I might have piped it. I think I can die happy now after that. Low laser beam. I just lasered it back to the tee pad at 510, which is one of the best drives I've ever thrown in my life, just because of how low that ceiling is at the end of the flight. And that luster amp, it's just like, I just throw it with no regard really, and it kind of just hits that nice S curve with reliable finish at the end. Just insane. So, what the heck is that noise? So I'm gonna throw the stable Roman here, flat, and let it kind of fight hard. I actually might have to throw it on a little bit of hyzer. Oh, that might be perfect. Just get left. Oh my gosh. We might have an eagle look here, guys. All right. Time to make the eagle putt. Let's do it. I'm pretty pumped about that. All right, so somehow we're 7 under, which is beyond what I was expecting. So I'm gonna call it a fluke of a round in a good way. So we take those, but anyways, hole 17, 300 feet. Slight turnover for me with the proxy and just let it drift right. Overturn the proxy, probably not enough hyzer on release. So hopefully just get up and down for 3 here. All right, tap out here. Oh. Nice. Just so you guys can see the profile of that. I don't know how easy that is to see. I kind of went left of my intended line. Oh, and it flared out a lot on me at the end, so it's gonna be a long putt. Oh. Oh well. Let's tap out here to close the round at 7 under, and we'll call it good. Probably not the best camera work there. Hey guys, just recording this outro back at home while I'm editing the video. So I just wanted to say some things before I sign off here. You probably noticed I was doing some crazy air bouncing on some of those shots. You can see some nose up air bounces. I've since gone to the field and corrected that. I didn't notice I was doing it at the round. I think what happened, my theory is when I went from the field to the course, I had to go from throwing a high launch angle in the field to a low launch angle in the course with all my low ceilings on these Florida courses. And my body likely overcompensated from decreasing launch angle so much that it had to naturally increase nose angle as to not throw the disc straight into the dirt off the tee pad. So part of that is just the body confidence thing, getting the reps in, and part of it was mechanical. So I did get to the field since then and correct that. I just played again yesterday at River City in DeBary, Florida, and shot about 1,000 rated in like 20 to 30 mile an hour winds. And part of that was probably from the nose angle increase or improvements that helped my discs fly more consistent through the wind. So still a work in progress with all that stuff, but it's coming along nicely. I just wanted to mention that so that there wasn't any questions about like, oh, you know, were you trying to throw nose up? I definitely wasn't. I do think in low ceiling courses, you don't have to throw his nose down as you would want to on distance shots. And there is always going to be an art form side of disc golf where we will, on one hand, have our optimal secondary metrics that we want to strive for. But on the other hand, we do want to let our body kind of work as an artist and get discs to just do what we need to do through the woods. This is something that you see Matt Oram does a great job of. Even all that little extra English on his body after follow-throughs. Paul McBeth, he modulates nose angle naturally in the woods. So just something to keep in mind. But with that, I don't want to ramble on too much longer. Really hope you guys enjoyed the video. I've got the new camera batteries in now, so we won't have to deal with poor iPhone quality videos on those last few holes again. And thanks for stopping by, guys. Really appreciate the support. And we'll see you out there next time. So take care.